All right, viewers, NSA Doval and Muslim World League addressing a meeting right over there and saying it's a very important time, especially for the ties of India and Saudi Arabia. Muslim World League chief is also in New Delhi. Taking a very short break, much more coming up on the other side as we continue getting you top updates. Face-off over monk murder in Karnataka, BJP constitutes fact-finding committee. Non-stop rainfall continues to lash North India. No relief yet for citizens of Delhi NCR. Stay tuned.
आप कह रहे हैं शरद पवार डबल गेम खेलते हैं।
खेला है। पवार साहब हमारे साथ थोड़ी चुनकर आए थे, उन्होंने हमारा उपयोग किया, स्ट्रेटेजी की और एक प्रकार से हम लोगों को मिसलीड करके वो निकल गए। डबल प्लेइंग जिसको कह सकते हैं।
ही गोष्ट खरी चर्चा त्यांनी अनेक गोष्टीची चर्चा केली, ही गोष्ट खरी आहे, पण त्यांनी स्वतःच सांगितलंय का की या संबंधीचं धोरण मी बदललं 2 दिवसांचे 2 दिवसांनी मी धोरण बदललं।
2019 सालं मी देवेंद्र फडणवीस सगळी चर्चा झाली, 5 बैठका झाल्या आणि मला देवेंद्रला सांगितलं कुठं बोलायचं नाही। आता मला सांगा, नेत्यांनी सांगितल्यावर मी कसा कुठं बोलेन?
I have seen many things. I have made an assessment. I will state it at the right time, in the right manner. I came here for a simple purpose. As a student, I have heard Tamasoma Jyotirgamai. Somebody told me it's the same as there is light at the end of the tunnel. As a humble student, I wanted to ask my learned professors what it is.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance, but this has now totally been submerged in the water and the mud that has come. National Investigation Agency is carrying out raids at 5 locations in the South Kashmir. The raids are going at 2 locations in Shopian, 2 in Anantnag and 1 location in the Pulwama district. The raids are in connection with the case number 5 that was registered by the Jammu Police Station of the National Investigation Agency in year 2022 that pertains to the terror conspiracy hatched by the Pakistani terror commanders, be it dropping of weapons using drone. This is an umbrella FIR that also covers the Pakistan's plan to float the pseudo organizations in the name of TRF, People's Anti-Fascist Front and others to evade the international scrutiny and to give terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir a local color. The team of NIA started the raids in a well-coordinated manner along with the assistance from Jammu and Kashmir Police and the paramilitary forces, and the searches are on. Sources have revealed that some of the documents and digital devices have been seized so far. With Sarjeevan Kumar, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
Amity School of Communication has been ranked among India's top 5 mass comm institutes for the last 3 years by India Today, a testimony to its most high-tech studios, senior professionals as faculty and placements in leading media organizations. To apply, visit amity.edu.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance, but this has now totally been submerged in the water and the mud that has come inside this.
The situation in Himachal is extremely tense. Villages and tourist places has been disconnected due to the heavy rainfall and flash flood. River Beas has crossed the danger mark. That is the reason the Beas is entirely affecting Mandi, Kullu, Manali. The water flow is extremely in a very speed and damaging the bridges and all the way whatever is coming into the way of this water.
I have seen many things. I have made an assessment. I will state it at the right time, in the right manner. I came here for a simple purpose. As a student, I have heard Tamasoma Jyotirgamam. Somebody told me it's the same as there is light at the end of the tunnel. As a humble student, I wanted to ask my learned professors what it is.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance, but this has now totally been submerged in the water and the mud that has come inside this.
The situation in Himachal is extremely tense. Villages and tourist places has been disconnected due to the heavy rainfall and flash flood. River Beas has crossed the danger mark. That is the reason the
A pilot escaped with only minor injuries after a single-engine plane crashed nose first into the roof of a hangar. The incident took place at a Southern California airport. The pilot of the Cessna 172 was said to be practicing landings and takeoffs. Video release shows the nose of the plane embedded in the hangar's roof with the tail sticking straight out. The pilot, who was the only person on board, had to be extricated from the wreckage. He was hospitalized with minor injuries. The fire department said about 45 gallons of fuel leaked from the plane after the crash. The incident will now be investigated by the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board. Agency report, Republic TV.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance, but this has now totally been submerged in the water and the mud that has come inside this.
The situation in Himachal is extremely tense. Villages and tourist places has been disconnected due to the heavy rainfall and flash flood. River Beas has crossed the danger mark. That is the reason the Beas is entirely affecting Mandi, Kullu, Manali. The water flow is extremely in a very speed and damaging the bridges and all the way whatever is coming into the way of this water.
आप कह रहे हैं शरद पवार डबल गेम खेलते हैं।
खेला है। पवार साहब हमारे साथ थोड़ी चुनकर आए थे, उन्होंने हमारा उपयोग किया, स्ट्रेटेजी की, और एक प्रकार से हम लोगों को मिसलीड करके वो निकल गए। डबल प्लेइंग जिसको कह सकते हैं।
ही गोष्ट खरी आहे, त्याच्यात त्यांनी अनेक गोष्टीची चर्चा केली. ही गोष्ट खरी आहे, पण त्यांनी स्वतःच सांगितलंय का की या संबंधीचं धोरण मी बदललं 2 दिवसांचे 2 दिवसांनी मी धोरण बदललं.
2019 सालं मी देवेंद्र फडणवीस सगळी चर्चा झाली, 5 बैठका झाल्या आणि मला देवेंद्रला सांगितलं कुठं बोलायचं नाही. आता मला सांगा, नेत्यांनी सांगितल्यावर मी कसा कुठं बोलेन?
आप कह रहे हैं शरद पवार डबल गेम खेलते हैं।
खेला है। पवार साहब हमारे साथ थोड़ी चुनकर आए थे, उन्होंने हमारा उपयोग किया, स्ट्रेटेजी की, और एक प्रकार से हम लोगों को मिसलीड करके वो निकल गए। डबल प्लेइंग जिसको कह सकते हैं।
भेटले ही गोष्ट खरी आहे. त्याच्यात त्यांनी अनेक गोष्टीची चर्चा केली, ही गोष्ट खरी आहे. पण त्यांनी स्वतःच सांगितलंय का की या संबंधीचं धोरण मी बदललं 2 दिवसांचे 2 दिवसांनी मी धोरण बदललं.
No end to violence in West Bengal. Counting day 2 is marred with violence now. Bombs, violence and clashes all across West Bengal as counting gets underway. Face off over monk's murder in Karnataka. BJP constitutes a fact-finding committee. "18 lives lost, over 300 tourists stranded. All this in just the last 2 days in Himachal Pradesh." Incessant rainfall continues to lash North India. No relief yet for the citizens of Delhi NCR. And prices of tomato continue their unabated rise, is now ceiling at 200 rupees a kilogram as rain disrupts supplies. Tomato prices are skyrocketing in the country. It has become the new luxury. It seems, in fact, the average price is now 120 rupees per kilograms of tomato. And in Karnataka, in fact, the price has gone up to even 200 rupees per kg. In fact, in Bengaluru, a goods vehicle loaded with 2 tons, that is 200 crates of tomatoes, was stolen for not paying for the repair of a vehicle that was damaged during an accident in Bengaluru. Now, prices have gone so high that restaurants and homemakers have done away with tomatoes in their menu. And our reporters have, of course, got you the latest reports from across India. Right now, my colleague Samiksha Srivastav is joining us live on the broadcast for more on this. Samiksha, now tomato clearly is becoming the new luxury, it seems, for the Indian household, which in fact has been a staple for households, for Indian food.
That's right, Rakshita. And right now, as we speak, we are reporting live from the Dadar market in Mumbai. Now, remember, the prices in Mumbai have gone up to as high as 120 rupees per kg. Let's try and speak to some of the vendors here and try and understand how much of this has really impacted their sale per se, and also how much is their profit margin when it comes to the sale of tomato prices in this market. भैया हमें थोड़ा बताइए कि ये 1 किलो कितने के मिलेंगे टमाटर?
किलो 120 रुपए का है मैडम, ये वाला, और ऊपर का
ये टमाटर 120 रुपए किलो है और ये वाले टमाटर
40 पाव है, 140 रुपए किलो है।
ये टमाटर 140 रुपए किलो है। अब आप हमें ये बताइए कि ये 120 रुपए किलो टमाटर और 140 रुपए किलो टमाटर में डिफरेंस क्या है?
ये देसी है, गाउटी टमाटर है, और ये सादा टमाटर है।
ये सादा टमाटर है और ये
गाउटी देसी।
तो अभी क्या रीजन क्या बताया जा रहा है, किस वजह से प्राइस इतने हाइक हुए हैं और आपकी सेल में कितना इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है?
बहुत फर्क पड़ा है मैडम, आधा हो गया धंधा एकदम। पहला कितना 10, 20, 25 कैरेट बिकता था, अभी 10 कैरेट नहीं बिकता है, क्योंकि गिरेक लेते नहीं सब ना। 120, 140 बोलेगा तो 10 गिरेक में से 1 गिरेक लेता है, और माल का कमी है, माल है ही नहीं इस बार, बहुत बिल्कुल कम है माल। और कर्नाटक से माल आता था, वो भी माल नहीं आ रहा है इस बार। कर्नाटक में भी माल नहीं है करके ज़्यादा महंगा हो गया, नहीं तो हर बार इसमें कर्नाटक का माल संभालता था, बेंगलोर का। इस बार बेंगलोर में माल नहीं है, इसकी वजह से ज़्यादा महंगा है।
तो हमें थोड़ा बताइए कि अभी प्रॉफिट मार्जिन क्या चल रहा है? बिफोर आई गो बैक टू हिम, Rakshita, let me just tell you, he's saying that the sale has definitely taken a hit and it's not as much as it was just a few months ago. Let's try and understand also that how much is exactly the profit margin vis-a-vis what he was gaining just a few months back. थोड़ा हमें बताइए कि आपका प्रॉफिट मार्जिन क्या है अभी पर डे के हिसाब से, और इस टमाटर में और इस टमाटर में डिफरेंस क्या है?
डिफरेंस यही है कि ये सादे टमाटर है, ये गाउटी टमाटर है। ये हमको खरीदी आता है 12 रुपये खरीदी, 120 रुपये खरीदी है, 140 बेचते हैं। ये 100, 110 खरीदी हुआ है, 120 रुपये बेच रहे हैं। हम लोग ज़्यादा मार्जिन नहीं रखते हैं 10 रुपये, क्योंकि इतना महंगा है, उसमें ज़्यादा रखेंगे तो और ग्राहक भाग जाएंगे।
थोड़ा हमें और बताइए कि अगर हमें ये 1 किलो टमाटर लेने हैं तो कितने आ जाएंगे टमाटर, ये वाले और कुछ ऐसा डिफरेंस है कि 1 किलो के टमाटर में ये ज़्यादा आएंगे या ये टमाटर ज़्यादा आएंगे जो 120 रुपये पर केजी है?
साइज इसका छोटा है ना, तो इसके लिए ये 1 किलो में कम से कम 25-30 टमाटर आएंगे।
और आपका प्रॉफिट मार्जिन क्या है, मतलब इस टमाटर में और ये जो हाई क्वालिटी का टमाटर जिसे हम बता रहे हैं, इसमें आपका प्रॉफिट मार्जिन क्या रहता है पर डे के हिसाब से?
10 रुपये किलो के पीछे रहता है। 110 रुपये खरीदी हुआ है, 120 बेच रहे हैं, इसमें 10 रुपये किलो हमको मिलता है। और ये 120-25 खरीदी हुआ है, इसको 140 बेचते हैं।
So Rakshita, if you just heard this vendor, he's saying that the profit margin is also not much. It's approximately 10 to 12 rupees per kg profit margin that he's currently earning. Let's try and speak to some of the customers here as well and understand how has their household budget taken a hit when it comes to the tomato prices. अगर आप हमें थोड़ा सा बताएंगे कि ये जो टमाटर के भी prices बढ़ चुके हैं, आपका household का budget है वो कितना impact हुआ है, और आपको क्या लगता है कि आपका जो भी बजट है उसमें आप उतने टमाटर खरीद पा रहे हैं जितने आप पहले खरीद रहे हैं?
नहीं, बिल्कुल भी नहीं खरीद पा रहे हैं। और बेसिकली हम लोग जैन लोग हैं तो ऑनियन गार्लिक वगैरह नहीं खाता है, तो हम लोग का जो भी ज़्यादा वो रहता है वो टोमेटो से हर एक सब्ज़ी में वही रहता है, तो ऑनियन गार्लिक नहीं रहता है, तो उसके कारण हम लोग का पूरा डेली का जो मेन्यू रहता है वो पूरा चेंज हो गया है। और बेसिक नीड है तो उसके बिना चल भी नहीं रहा है, वो ख़रीदना ही पड़ रहा है, मतलब वो ये रेट में। बाकी बजट के हिसाब से कुछ भी वो नहीं जा रहा है। फ्रूट्स या ड्राई फ्रूट्स रहेंगे ना तो वो एक बार उसी के लेवल पे आ गया है इसका रेट टोमेटोज़ का।
तो आप बोल रहे हैं कि पहले जो टमाटर एक बहुत ही नॉर्मल सी चीज़ मानी जाती थी, वो अब एक लग्जरी आइटम बन चुका है आज के लिए।
ऑब्वियसली वो हो गया है, लेकिन ये मिडिल क्लास लोगों के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा वो उस प्रेशर आ रहा है, बजट पूरा हिल रहा है, क्योंकि बेसिक नीड है वो लगता ही है। मतलब सुबह शाम दोनों टाइम पे हम लोग जो भी नॉर्मल वेजिटेबल्स बनाते हैं कोई भी, तो उसमें ये टोमेटोज़ लगता ही है मतलब।
All right, Rakshita, in fact, let's also try and speak with the vendor again and try and get an understanding as to how many tomatoes would one essentially get if they purchased a kilo tomatoes. Now this is, remember, the high quality tomatoes we are showing you here, and this is probably somewhere on the lower side. थोड़ा हमें और बताइए कि ये जो टमाटर हाई क्वालिटी के टमाटर हैं, जैसे कि आप बोल रहे हैं 140 रुपये पर किलो हैं, ये कितने टमाटर आएंगे 1 kg?
1 किलो में 20 आएंगे, ये कम से कम 30-32 आएगा।
अच्छा, तो आप बोल रहे हैं ये टमाटर सिर्फ 30 आएंगे और ये आएंगे ये 20 आएंगे?
ये 20 आएंगे, वो 30 आएंगे, क्योंकि उसका साइज छोटा है ना और ये बड़े साइज है।
All right, so there you heard Rakshita as we show you these visuals and these scenes from the Dadar market. Not many people, from what I've been able to gather as of now, is that I don't see many customers who really want to buy tomatoes given the high rates that we are seeing in Mumbai. What he's also saying that these high quality tomatoes that he's showing you right now, we would get only 20 of them for 1 kg tomato is the quantity for 140 price rate, and this is the lower quality tomato that he's showing you here, which he says that one would get 30 if one purchases 1 kg tomato. So Rakshit, of course, situation is the same when we talk about the northern states and southern states. The reason primarily being attributed to the delayed monsoon, the high temperature that we saw in May and June, and the pest infestation also, which has probably led to the price hike across the country. Rakshita.
Rains, the incessant rains now, of course, is now leading to further, hike in the prices. But thank you so much for the moment, Samisha, for getting us that ground report from Dadar in Mumbai. In fact, our Republic TV's network of reporters have been getting reports from across the country over this, what we are calling a tomato emergency. Let's take a look at these reports.
Prices of tomatoes going high day by day. Well, the common citizen definitely is feeling the pinch of it, but also at the same time we see that the prices of tomatoes continue to be rising day by day. Well, as we are reporting from Eragada market, where we see the prices of tomato, which is near about 67. The government subsidy price of tomatoes per kg is 67 rupees. But also when we talk about the wholesale market, the tomatoes are being sold at near about 100 rupees per kg. and in the retail markets it's being sold at 110 to 120 rupees per kg. Well, the customers here are definitely saying that the prices of tomatoes are going high day by day, and it is getting very difficult for a common citizen to purchase tomatoes. But also at the same time, the vendors here say that the prices of tomatoes, which has been increasing day by day, would also continue to be the same in the coming days as well. But also we are seeing that how the common citizen is feeling the brunt of it, and that is the reason right now also the tomatoes which are being sold at near about 100 rupees per kg in wholesale markets. This is Anirisha with journalist Chandra for Republic TV.
All right, that was a report from Hyderabad. Now let's take a look at what is happening in Kerala as far as this tomato emergency is concerned. Let's take a look at this report.
All over India, the biggest news story that is doing rounds in the markets are the prices of tomatoes. I am right now at the famous Palaya market in Kozhikode city, where the tomatoes price have definitely been increased. But however, the traders over here say there has been a small decrease. However, let's hear from one of the wholesale traders over here what he has to say. So, आपको क्या लगता है अभी कम हो गया कि नहीं?
अभी थोड़ा कम लग रहा है क्योंकि कल एक बॉक्स का 2500 रुपये था, आज इसमें 200 रुपये कम लगा है। तो क्योंकि बारिश में उधर सामान बहुत कम है, इधर इसलिए आने का थोड़ा खर्चा है, इसलिए ज़्यादा है। अभी सामान थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया अभी उधर, अभी कल से कम हो जाएगा। अभी केरला में है सो थोड़ा सस्ता है, उत्तर इंडिया में सब 250 रुपया लग रहा है 1 kg का, इधर 80 रुपया 85 रुपया है। 2 दिन पहले 100 रुपया था, आज से थोड़ा कम लग रहा है टोमेटो।
So I just want to show you across this market there is this is one of the buzzing markets in Calicut. Tomato prices are increasing. നിങ്ങൾ എത്ര രൂപയ്ക്കാണ് വിൽക്കുന്നത്?
90 രൂപ.
So he is selling it for 90 rupees. Now this is the market which is selling this commodity for 80 to 90 rupees. But outside the market, in the retail market, when it comes, today when I checked, in the supermarkets, this costs about 100 to 125 rupees. Now this is the wholesale market. As you can see behind me also, there are like these cartons of tomatoes which have been kept over here. Now what the wholesale trader actually said was these cartons are now selling for 2,500 rupees. There has been a decrease in about 180 rupees in this price since yesterday. There has been a small decrease. However, this price is a matter of concern as the tomatoes price has definitely caused much inconveniences to the middle class in India. Ashwin Nandakumar for Republic TV from Calicut.
The entire country is right now shook with the rates of tomatoes, the staple food of almost every Indian household. The tomatoes are used on a daily basis by the lot of people in the country, and right now the prices are so high that it was almost 100 rupees per kilogram in Chennai. The prices are different in different states, but in Chennai in the past few days the prices have been fluctuating. It went up to an all-time high of rupees 160 per kilogram, and today it is almost being sold for 100 rupees. And right now we are in the Coimbatore market, which is a wholesale market for fruits, vegetables, flowers, everything, and this is the hub of buying and selling of vegetables in Chennai. So let's talk to some customers and see. Sir, vanakkam. Ipo panda pathina takkali vela romba adhigama irukku. It's extremely high and afford panna mudiyala adu yaraliyum. Ena idu daily நம்ம சாப்பாட்டுல யூஸ் பண்ற ஒரு பொருளா இருக்கு. இத பத்தி நீங்க என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க சார்?
மேடம், இது வியாபாரிங்க பண்ணுற இதுதாம்மா. இது விவசாயிக்கு எதுவுமே கிடைக்க போகிறதில்ல. இதில் விவசாயிக்கு 10 ரூபா கிடச்சின்னா வியாபாரிங்க தான் 100 ரூபா வாங்குறாங்க. இதுக்கு ஒன்று டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்டு அது இதெல்லாம் அதிகமானால, பெட்ரோல் விலைவாசி அதிகமானால எல்லாருமே இந்த மாதிரி ரேட்டாக ஏற்றி விற்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் எங்களை மாதிரி நடுத்தர மக்களால் பிழைக்க முடியல, வாழ முடியல. எங்களுக்கு டெய்லி 200-300 ரூபா சம்பளத்தை வாங்கி நாங்கள் எப்படி சாப்பிட முடியும் சொல்லுங்கள்? 100-120 ரூபா 130 ரூபா தக்காளிங்கிறாங்க. காய்கறி விலை எடுத்தீங்கன்னா 80 ரூபா 100 ரூபாங்கிறாங்க. எப்படி எங்களை மாதிரி ஆளுங்க எப்படி பிழைக்க முடியும்னு எங்களுக்கு புரியல. அரசாங்கம் எந்த விதமான ஒரு நடவடிக்கை இதுக்கு எடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So he says that people like him who are in the middle class and are able to earn very less, like 400 or 500 per day, how can we afford when a kilogram of tomatoes are being sold for 100 and 150, and the government has to take some action, is what he's saying. Let's talk to some vendors and ask about what is the situation. Sir, ipo vandu பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மக்கள் என்ன நினைக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா, விவசாயிகள் 10 ரூபாய்க்கு விற்றா கூட இங்கே வந்து 100 ரூபாய்க்கு விற்கிறாங்க, எங்களால் தாங்க முடியல அப்படின்ற மாதிரியான ஒரு கருத்து வெளிப்படு. உண்மையில் என்ன நடக்குது? எதனால் தக்காளி விலை இவ்வளோ உயர்ந்திருக்கு?
நான் சொல்கிறேன் மேடம், அது விலை உயர்வு முதல்ல என்னன்னு தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு? எதால் விலை உயர்வு நீங்கள் சொல்கிறீங்க? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதை ரீசன் சொல்லுங்கள், நான் அதுக்கு உங்களுக்கு ஆன்சர் சொல்கிறேன். மழை பெய்யுதா? 1ஆம் மாதம் 2ஆம் மாதம் சத்தீஸ்கர்லேருந்து இங்கே தக்காளி கொண்டு வந்து நீங்கள் இங்கே விற்கிறீங்க சென்னையில், ஓகேவா? அப்போ அங்கே எவ்வளோக்கு வாங்குறீங்க? அந்த விவசாயத்துக்கிட்ட 1 ரூபா 2 ரூபாய்க்கு வாங்கி அங்கேருந்து எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணி இங்கே லாரி கூலி கொடுத்து 50 டோல்கேட் தாண்டி இங்கே எடுத்துன்னு வந்து நாங்கள் விற்கிறோம். அன்றைக்கி 1ஆம் மாதம் 2ஆம் மாதம் ஏன் நீங்கள் அந்த மாதிரி சொல்ல மாட்டீங்க? இன்றைக்கி இங்கேருந்து சத்தீஸ்கருக்கு இங்கேருந்து போகுது, இப்போ மகாராஷ்டிராலேருந்து இங்கேருந்து ஏற்றுறாங்க, சரிங்களா? இப்போ அவங்க சொல்கிறாங்களா இந்த ஜனங்க, அவங்க விவசாயத்துக்கு எவ்வளோ போகுதுன்னு பார்க்குறாங்க. பாருங்கள், பொடி தக்காளி இன்றைக்கி 7 ரூபா விற்குதுன்னா என்ன காரத்துக்கு விற்குது? அவங்க ஏன் இந்த மாதிரி முழுசாக ஏன் விவசாயம் பண்ண விட மாட்டுறாங்க? இப்போ அவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளோ 60 ரூபா போகுது, அவர் சொல்கிற மாதிரி 10 ரூபா போகுதுன்னு அவங்க பார்த்தாங்களா? முதல்ல நான் கேட்குறேன்.
ஸோ இப்போ வந்து நீங்கள் என்ன சொல்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னா வந்து பெர்செப்ஷன் இஸ் ராங், மக்களுக்கு வந்து தப்பான விஷயங்கள் போய் சேருது அப்படின்னு நீங்கள் நினைக்கிறீங்க. உண்மையிலே வந்து வெளி மாநிலங்களில் வரத்து குறைஞ்சதுனால தான் உங்களுக்கு இங்கே கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது.
அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, இங்கேருந்து எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இங்கேருந்து ஹரியானாலேருந்து மட்டப்பள்ளி, கோலாறு, இங்கேருந்து இது பண்ணிட்டு இங்கேருந்து பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணி இங்கேருந்து அங்கே போகுது உங்களுக்கு தக்காளி. ஒரு டோல்கேட் எவ்வளோ ஆகுது? ஒரு லாரி டோல்கேட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 500 அப்ராக்சிமேட் ஆகுது. அப்போ 50 டோல்கேட் இங்கேருந்து ஹரியானாக்கு போகிறதா இருந்தால் சும்மா 1800 கிலோமீட்டர் இங்கேருந்து போகுது. அங்கே 250 ரூபா, இங்கே 100 ரூபா விற்கிது.
The prices of tomatoes in the local market is increasing with each passing day. In the retail market, the prices are touching at around 200, while in the wholesale market, the prices have reached almost 150 and at some places more than this. We are in the wholesale market of Jammu, which is the Jammu Sabzi Mandi. This is one of the biggest wholesale market in the Jammu and Kashmir. We'll try to speak to some of the owners here and we'll try to get an idea that what remains the price of the tomatoes here at the wholesale market. सर मुझे ये बताइए, लगातार जो है टमाटर के दाम बढ़ रहे हैं, क्या दाम है अभी यहाँ पर तकरीबन जो बात की जाए?
अभी 150 रुपये केजी है जहाँ पे।
तो ये जब यहाँ से दुकान पे जाता है तो आम लोगों तक कितने में पहुँचेगा?
अभी 200 में पहुँचेगा।
तो लोग आपसे भी लेने आते होंगे?
हाँ लेने तो है।
तंग है लोग?
हाँ तंग है बहुत।
क्या कहते हैं?
क्या कहते हैं, बहुत महंगी है।
हाँ सर, आपसे भी जानना चाहूँगा, कितनी जो है दिन में बिक्री आप लोग टमाटर की करते हैं तकरीबन?
कितनी बिक्री है? 10 क्रेट बेचते हैं।
10 क्रेट। तो अब लोग आपके पास आते हैं तो बढ़ते दामों से परेशान हैं?
हाँ लोग तो परेशान हैं, खुद हम भी खुद परेशान हैं। इतना महंगा क्या करें।
बिक्री में फ़र्क पड़ता है जब महंगा हो जाता है?
नहीं फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता। फ़र्क तो जब महंगा होगा तो जो फ़र्क तो सबको पड़ता है।
फ़र्क जो है पड़ता है, द डिफरेंस इज विजिबल। विल ट्राई टू स्पीक टू सम मोर पीपल। सर आपसे जानना चाहूँगा, जो टमाटर के दाम लगातार बढ़ रहे हैं तो कितनी परेशानी होती है?
सर बहुत परेशानी है, सर बहुत परेशानी है। जो भी ले रहे हैं ऐसे ही 100 ग्राम या पाव ही ले रहे हैं, बाहर बिक नहीं रहा।
So this is the situation on ground. We'll try to speak to some people who have gathered here. भाई साहब मुझे ये बताइए, टमाटर के जिस तरह से दाम बढ़ रहे हैं तो रोज़मर्रा की ज़िंदगी में मुश्किलें आ रही हैं?
जी आ रही हैं, सारे को आ रही हैं।
तो क्या पहले कितना लेते थे, अब क्या करते हैं?
पहले 20-30 रुपए टमाटर बिकता था सर, अभी 150-140 रुपए किलो।
फिर बजट पूरा बिगड़ जाता है?
बिगड़ जाता है, क्या करना है।
क्या कर सकते हैं। कुछ और लोगों से जानना चाहेंगे। सर आप भी यहाँ खरीदारी के लिए आए हैं, जिस तरह से टमाटर के दाम बढ़ रहे हैं, आम लोगों की जेब पर कितनी मार पड़ रही?
टमाटर भी मैं तो महंगा ही हूँ, दुकान खाना तो आई है।
मुश्किल हो रही?
हाँ जी
मुश्किल होती है जब दाम बढ़?
मुश्किल, हाँ जी सारे बंदे मुश्किल, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ भी सानू भी सारे कोई
सबको मुश्किल हो रही है। सर आपसे जानना चाहूँगा, जिस तरह से दाम बढ़ रहे हैं तो चिंता का विषय भी है?
चिंता तो बहुत है, गरीब आदमी मर गया, गरीब आदमी क्या खाएगा।
पूरा महीने का बजट बिगड़ जाता है?
बिल्कुल बिगड़ जाता है। लेने वाले को छोड़ो, जो इधर से खरीदता है उसको हालत खराब हो गया।
So this is the situation on ground, that the people who are coming here at the retail, the wholesale market are also feeling the heat of the rising prices. They are saying that the prices have gone beyond their limits. The tomatoes which they used to get at around 20 to 30 rupees per kilogram have risen to around 150 in the wholesale market, and the retail it has gone touching 200 rupees, which is something really worrisome. With Sarjeevan Kumar, Gursimran Singh for Public Media Network.
Time for a short break. On the other side, we get you all the latest from West Bengal as bombs, violence and clashes continue to be witnessed on the day of counting. And face off over Jain monk's murder in Karnataka. BJP constitutes a fact-finding committee. We get you all the latest on that and much more on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
आप कह रहे हैं शरद पवार डबल गेम खेलते हैं।
खेला है। पवार साहब हमारे साथ थोड़ी चुनकर आए थे, उन्होंने हमारा उपयोग किया, स्ट्रेटजी की और एक प्रकार से हम लोगों को मिसलीड करके वो निकल गए। डबल प्लेइंग जिसको कह सकते हैं।
ही गोष्ट खरी आहे त्याच्यात त्यांनी अनेक गोष्टीची चर्चा केली. ही गोष्ट खरी आहे, पण त्यांनी स्वतःच सांगितलंय का की या संबंधीचं धोरण मी बदललं 2 दिवसांचे 2 दिवसांनी मी धोरण बदललं.
2019 सालं मी देवेंद्र फडणवीस सगळी चर्चा झाली, 5 बैठका झाल्या आणि मला देवेंद्रला सांगितलं कुठं बोलायचं नाही. आता मला सांगा, नेत्यांनी सांगितल्यावर मी कसा कुठं बोलेन?
I have seen many things. I have made an assessment. I will state it at the right time, in the right manner. I came here for a simple purpose. As a student, I have heard Tamasoma Jyotirgamam. Somebody told me it's the same as there is light at the end of the tunnel. As a humble student, I wanted to ask my learned professors what it means.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
All right, Mangalore-Dubai flight was supposed to take off at 11:15 p.m. last night, but it got delayed due to a technical glitch. Now, passengers at the Mangalore airport alleged that the flight then left to Thiruvananthapuram for technical repair and was supposed to reach Mangalore airport today morning at 9 a.m. But the flight has not arrived yet. Now, around 130 passengers are stranded at the airport, expressing their outrage against the Air India staff for no alternative flight arrangement. And my colleague Prajwal is joining us on the phone line for more. Prajwal, we're getting in some visuals also from Mangaluru airport where there's a ruckus being created and 130 passengers are stranded. What is the situation right now?
This particular flight was supposed to go from Mangalore to Dubai, and as of now, there has been no sort of solution which has been provided to all these passengers who are stranded at the Mangalore airport. And now it is being learned that Air India officials are directly coordinating with the passengers, and accommodation arrangements have also been made for those who are not residents of Mangalore too, and have stated that in the next 2 hours there will be a flight which will be taking these passengers from Mangalore to Dubai as well, and this will not be the same flight which has gone for repair at Thiruvananthapuram. So it is an altogether a new different flight as well. But passengers have gone ahead and stated that this had to be communicated earlier as well, which is it has been over 12 hours since this particular incident has happened. In fact, 14 hours or so. But there was no sort of communication, and only once there was a sort of ruckus, only then did the employees of Air India and well as some of the officials from the help desk went ahead and tried to go ahead and assist them, but until then it has become very tiresome for them. And some of the passengers were also complaining that they were traveling with senior citizens as well, and as they were traveling with senior citizens, most of them had health issues too, which had to be addressed as well. But now Air India has given some sort of medical assistance to those who needed it too, and have stated that within the next 2 hours all of them will be sent on their flight as well, and they have apologized for the delay.
Absolutely, outrage clearly visible amongst the passengers. But thank you so much for the moment, Prajwal, for joining us with all those details on that story. Now, news coming in from the national capital, where there was a road accident, a tragic road accident where 5 lives were lost. This, of course, involved a black SUV and a vacant school bus. Let's take a look at this report for more details.
6 people were killed in a tragic car crash. The incident took place in Ghaziabad on the Delhi-Meerut Expressway when an SUV collided with a vacant school bus. An 8-year-old child who was injured in the accident was taken to a hospital in critical condition.
इसमें 6 लोगों की मौके पर मृत्यु हो गई, 2 गंभीर रूप से घायल हैं। इसमें बस का जो चालक था ये दिल्ली के गाजीपुर से सीएनजी भर करके रॉन्ग साइड आ रहा था और जो ट्यूबी ये मेरठ साइड से आ रहे थे लोग, इनको जाना था गुड़गांव। यहाँ गाजियाबाद में बहरामपुर के ऊपर एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ है। इसमें बस वाले की गलती है, ये दिल्ली से ही रॉन्ग साइड आ रहा था और दूसरा इसका जो ड्राइवर है, ड्राइवर को पकड़ लिया गया है।
The video of the incident was captured on CCTV camera. The bodies of the deceased have been sent for post-mortem for further investigation. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
On the other side, the latest from West Bengal, as there is no end to violence in the state. Now even the counting day has been marred with violence. And at least 18 lives have been lost, over 300 tourists stranded. This only in the last 48 hours in Himachal Pradesh as the heavy rains wreaks havoc. We get you all the latest on the other side. Stay tuned.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance, but this has now totally been submerged in the water and the mud that has come inside this.
The situation in Himachal is extremely tense. Villages and tourist places has been disconnected due to the heavy rainfall and flash flood. River Beas has crossed the danger mark. That is the reason the Beas is entirely affecting Mandi, Kullu, Manali. The water flow is extremely in a very speed and damaging the bridges and all the way whatever is coming into the way of this water.
I have seen many things. I have made an assessment. I will state it at the right time, in the right manner. I came here for a simple purpose. As a student, I have heard Tamasoma Jyotirgamam. Somebody told me it's the same as there is light at the end of the tunnel. As a humble student, I wanted to ask my learned professors what it means.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance, but this has now totally been submerged in the water and the mud that has come inside this.
The situation in Himachal is extremely tense. Villages and tourist places has been disconnected due to the heavy rainfall and flash flood. River Beas has crossed the danger mark. That is the reason the Beas is entirely affecting Mandi, Kullu, Manali. The water flow is extremely in a very speed and damaging the bridges and all the way whatever.
No end to violence in West Bengal. Counting day is now marked with violence. Bombs, violence, clashes all across the state as counting gets underway. Face off over Monk's murder in Karnataka. BJP constitutes a fact-finding committee. 18 lives lost, over 300 tourists stranded, and only in the last 2 days in Himachal Pradesh. Incessant rainfall continues to lash North India. No relief yet for the citizens of Delhi NCR. And prices of tomato continue their unabated rise, is now ceiling at 200 rupees a kilogram as the rain disrupts the supplies. The death toll continues to rise as far as the torrential downpours are wreaking havoc in North India. Uttarakhand, of course, remains a point of focus as there are multiple rivers that are running dangerously. They are overflowing, and the citizens, of course, continue to reel under this tragedy. Absolute mayhem being wreaked in Uttarakhand. Of course, Uttarakhand is haunted by what happened in 2013, remember. But right now, visuals you can see from Uttarakhand, absolute mayhem in North India. Not just Uttarakhand, in fact, in Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir as well. In all the hilly regions, we can see that there is loss of life. There is immense damage. There is massive damage. Even in Delhi and NCR, we can see that rains have wreaked havoc. In Uttarakhand, we are getting you all the latest, what has happened from Dehradun, Haridwar, Vikas Nagar. Rain, of course, its fury is being witnessed all across northern part of the country.
देहरादून की तस्वीरें भी आप यहाँ पर देख रहे हैं। जल भराव की तस्वीरें लगातार आ रही हैं। अगर बात की जाए गंगोत्री हाईवे की बात की जाए, बद्रीनाथ हाईवे की बात की जाए, वो बंद हो चुका है। यहाँ पर तमाम तस्वीरें, तमाम दिक्कतें यहाँ पर है।
देखिए, ये समस्या यहाँ पिछले 3 दिन से चल रही है, जब से बारिश हो रही है। प्रशासन की लापरवाही यहाँ देखने को आई है, क्योंकि आज 3 दिन में पहली बार यहाँ पे साफ सफाई का काम किया जा चुका है। रात 6 बजे की कंडीशन यहाँ ये थी, इधर सुभाष नगर तक जो है जाम लग गया था, और इधर आपका कम से कम 2 किलोमीटर तक लंबा जाम लग गया था। उत्तराखंड में प्रशासन की लापरवाही के कारण ये यहाँ पे कुछ बाइकें जो हैं वहाँ जा के पकड़ी हैं, किसी का कुछ सामान बह गया, बहुत सी समस्याएं आई हैं।
ये तमाम तस्वीरें देहरादून क्षेत्र की हैं और चंदमणी इलाका, और यहाँ पर तमाम दिक्कतें यहाँ पर हो रही है। अगर बात की जाए पूरे उत्तराखंड की बात की जाए तो लगभग 150 सड़कें अभी तक बंद है, जिन्हें खोलने का काम लगातार किया जा रहा है। NH 58 यहाँ पर बंद है। जो हरिद्वार में जो गंगा है वो खतरे के निशान से ऊपर बह रही है। प्रशासन की अगर बात की जाए तो सचिवालय, आपदा प्रबंधन केंद्र से लगातार पूरी स्थिति पर यहाँ पर लगातार नजर बनाए हुए बैठे हैं। मुख्यमंत्री पुष्कर सिंह धामी लगातार स्वयं पूरा फीडबैक यहाँ पर लेते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। अगर ऑलमोस्ट हम पूरे उत्तराखंड की बात करते हैं तो इस वक्त की अगर बात की जाए तो 150 से अधिक सड़कें बंद हैं। हर जगह जल भराव की खबर निकल कर आ रही है, और ये तमाम तस्वीरें आप देहरादून के चंदमणी की आप देख सकते हैं। सड़कें लबालब हैं, स्थितियाँ बद से बदहाल है, और प्रशासन इन सड़कों के रास्तों को खोलने का काम लगातार कर रहा है। ये तमाम तस्वीरें देहरादून की तमाम तस्वीरें हैं, और जल भराव की शिकायतें लगातार आ रही हैं।
All right, that was a report from Uttarakhand. In fact, my colleague Amandeep too is on ground zero and getting you all the latest from the hilly states as they are bearing the brunt of this monsoon. Let's take a look at my colleague Amandeep's latest report.
The overflowing Beas River has taken everything into its fold, and in fact right now we are standing at just a riverbed, and behind me you can see these are the doors of the washroom of a house, and only the doors have been left and rest of the washroom has been washed away. So here you can see the visual of the washrooms outside a house, and in fact only doors have left, the walls has been collapsed, everything has been washed away, and even the house is submerged. Everything has been displaced in this flash floods. Even the rainfall havoc from past 3 days has created so mess in Himachal Pradesh, especially in Mandi, just because it is a low-lying area. And even behind me, you can see just few meters away, Beas River is still overflowing. It is still at its dangerous mark, and the water level is still on a high currents and creating damage to several places. But this place has witnessed the maximum damage, and the mudslinging you can see. 2 days continuously, this place has completely drowned and submerged into into the Beas water just because it was overflowing. And now we will take you inside the house of the locals to explain you more situation that what had happened. Past 2 days, continuously 2 days, till last evening, this house remains submerged in the Beas water. And you can see the mud slinging is still here, and the water level has touched to the roof of this floor. So the roof, here is the mark, and even on the roof, there are several marks on the roof also that showing us that the water level is at extreme. The water level was at extreme, and now we'll take you inside the house to show you the more damage and how the families were being rescued and facing this damage. One by one, this house is having several rooms. One by one, we will show you the condition of the rooms and how the entirely essentials and belongings of this house has been completely washed away. So room 1, we can show you the beds. I request my camera person to kindly go inside just because there is the place where only one person can stand. So room 1, here you can see that the room 1 is completely displaced. The beds and even the almirah, everything has been displaced. In fact, the water level has reached to the roof and the marks are still visible. This is room 1. Room 2, this side is room 2, another room, another disaster. Here you can see that another room, completely mud slinging, full of mud, and the watermark level of water is showing through, indicating through these marks, which has been still visible on the walls and even on the rooftop as well. Nothing has been here to recover by the family of this house. And now we will take you to room 3. Room 3, another disaster. All the rooms remain occupied and in a very pathetic situation. The family is in complete mess and a panic that what to do next just because they were owning this house. Room 3, this side. And my camera person is showing you. Room 3, everything has been damaged. Nothing to recover from this room. All the belongings, every single thing has been completely damaged. Kitchens, washrooms, bedrooms, drawing rooms, everything has been damaged. And you can see the visuals that mud is all over. The walls are all full of water marks and showing you the water level where it has been reached, and the damaged door also. The damaged door is evident that how water has entered in the room and further created this damage. This is room 4. Room 4 and another disaster. You can see the visuals that room 4, storeroom, kitchen, a small kitchen for a single person, and the watermarks at the walls. Similar pictures and the similar situation as well. So now we'll take you to other part of the house. This is the room 5. Room 5 again in a similar position. Room 6 again storeroom, washrooms. These are the washrooms. It cannot identify as a washrooms, and you can see it's only left with mud slinging. This is another small storeroom, it's another washroom. In fact, this is all occupied with the mud. So this is the situation, the ground reality, just because the water level all of a sudden increased day before yesterday and reached to the houses. Normally the water remain at the distance of around 50 to 70 meters from this place, but due to this rainfall havoc, the water level of Beas has increased and reached to the rooftop, and you can see the visuals on the roof also. This is the marks of the water and the mud that is quite visible, showing you that what had happened in past 3 days.
All right. In fact, Amandeep is on his way to Kulu right now, and he has just got this report to us. He's joining us live on the broadcast. Amandeep, we just saw you. We just saw the visuals you got us. Really hard-hitting visuals there, and of course, a very scary situation as far as the hilly states are concerned, the hilly regions are concerned. What is the latest you're picking up? How are the people reacting to this? I'm sure that they are, of course, enraged as far as the arrangement is concerned, and we do witness such rainfall and landslides now year after year, but clearly the state has been caught unprepared.
Well, absolutely, Rakshita. And in fact, right now we are traveling from Mandi to Kullu, and it is taking a lot of time to reach to Kullu, just to travel to 65 kilometers. And we are taking some link roads, some state highways that are completely blocked. And in fact, the landsliding is reported continuously from point to point. And behind me, you can see that how traffic has started moving from Kullu towards Mandi, and they are taking state highways. And the police is deployed at every point, just because this is single road. And in fact, only one car can pass at one time, so the traffic has been halted at one point. And even on one side, there is Kullu, on one side is Mandi, and people who were stranded in Kullu from past 3 days, now they have started traveling down towards the Mandi. And it is a bit relief that weather is very much clear in Himachal Pradesh so far, and even the rain is also halted. And in fact, the point is that rescue operation in the upper part of the Himachal Pradesh is still carried on. Even Chandratal Lake, there are 300 people have been rescued through chopper. Kasol area is yet to be rescued, just because several tourists have stranded there. And even rescue operations are still underway at different locations in Himachal Pradesh. Administration and the state government is all on their toes. Chief Minister is going to visit Mandi and later Kullu and Manali itself to take stock of the situation, to dope the damage of the economic situations in Himachal Pradesh. So this is the entire situation is not very much smooth going in Himachal Pradesh, and the entire life has been dismantled and displaced due to this flash floods. But still, it is in a threat perception. The people are still under panic, and in fact, I can show you the visuals of the JCBs and even the machines that are lying on the road to clear the landslides. Here I am standing. I show you one site of the landslide that has recently cleared to clear the road. That is the state highway where we are standing, and just they have cleared the landslide from this road to make a road through for the traffic for the commuters. Just because this is the only state highway which is connected to Kullu to Mandi, and in fact this state highway is being cleared by the local administration by applying this JCB and everything. So now the situation entirely is little panic. The people who are stranded at the upper areas of Himachal Pradesh, they are being rescued by the local administration, NDRF and SDRF. And in fact, there are certain isolated places that are remain disconnected from the roadsides as well. So rescue operations are still underway. Evacuation process is still underway. So the entire state is still in a state of emergency. Yes, Rakshita.
Right, Amandeep. All right. In fact, Anuj is also, Ayush, I beg your pardon, Ayush is joining us from Punjab's Ludhiana, because entire North India has been pounded by these heavy incessant rains now. And Ayush, if I can come across to you right now, what is the situation in Punjab? Because we have seen some really dramatic visuals coming in for the past few days from various parts of Punjab as well. There has been flooding situations, and there have been even deployment of NDRF teams. What is the latest from Punjab, Ayush?
Well, exactly in this Shahpura area of Ludhiana, Punjab, where 50 villages have been evacuated. NDRF from the last evening is on the task to evacuate the villages, and in the Shahpura area, where two places of Dhusi Dam has been damaged, and 50 villages and people across the villages have been rescued by NDRF. And also in the Philor area of the Ludhiana, where a Shani temple, a Sunny village, where the entire temple was submerged into it, and in fact, the people were forced to reside on the roadside, where we have seen the cots, and the visuals were really very clear that cots were lying on the road. The animals, those who used to be in the ashram or in the temple, were on the roadside of the Sunny temple there.
Right. Absolutely, of course. It's we have seen some really dramatic visuals coming in from Punjab as well. And in fact, we are getting some live visuals coming in from Himachal Pradesh. This is an aerial view, I believe. This is an aerial view coming in. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhinder Singh Sukhu is taking an aerial view of a situation, what is happening in Himachal Pradesh. We were expecting the Chief Minister. And now we can see visuals, live visuals coming in from Himachal Pradesh. And he's doing an aerial survey. He's conducting an aerial survey, which was scheduled for today. And Mr. Sukhu right now is conducting that survey on an aerial survey in Himachal. Remember, IAF choppers have been airlifting several people who are affected from flood in the past few days. And 1,239 roads have been blocked due to heavy rains. Amardeep, as you continue to stay with us from Himachal Pradesh, we are just getting the visuals of Himachal Chief Minister who is conducting an aerial survey right now. But of course, there have been, reports of how the centre is also assisting the state government on this. But there are, of course, several questions that are being raised as far as, the government's preparedness for the monsoon is concerned, especially given the fact that we do know that Himachal Pradesh has several tourist spots.
Well, absolutely, Rakshita. The point is that Himachal Pradesh government supposed to be prepared for this kind of situation, and even despite knowing that Himachal Pradesh has always remained the victim for the monsoon situation, facing floods several times, and this is every year affair that Himachal Pradesh, whenever the monsoon comes, Himachal Pradesh needs an evacuation and rescue operation with the immediate effect, and even the low-lying areas are always remain under danger. And now Chief Minister Sukhinder Singh Sukhu has come out from his residence and reaching to Manali, Kullu, taking the aerial surveys, accessing the damage and monitoring the rescue and relief operations done by the local administration, NDRF and SDRF, and in fact the Himachal Police also. And later today his visit is scheduled to Kullu, Manali and Mandi also, just because these are the most affected areas due to this flash floods. And after that he will release the amount and he will release the total damage situation, that how much damage has been done through this. And in fact he was traveling through chopper, and very soon he'll be landing to Kullu, and then he'll be reaching to Manali, and later he will take stock of the situation in Mandi also, that how many people have been affected due to this flash floods. Just because, Rakshita, several people have lost their houses. They are staying in the relief camps. They have taken the shelter in the neighborhoods just because they have lost everything in their house for their own survival. They have left with only few clothes, and now they are screaming and even seeking the help from the government and local administration, that at least some kind of financial relief have to be announced from the side of the government. And that is the reason Sukhinder Singh Sukhu, Chief Minister, is accessing the damage, taking the aerial view, taking stock of the situation from each and every district and region of Himachal Pradesh, and later accordingly the compensations or any kind of relief will be announced by Chief Minister and government after getting in touch with the centre government also. Just because Union government and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also already announced that every kind of assistance would be provided to Himachal Pradesh in the matter of financial or the manpower as well. Central teams are already on their toes, if required any kind of relief or rescue operations in Himachal. Yes, Rakshita.
All right, thank you so much, Amandeep. We are getting some breaking news coming in. This coming in from West Bengal. Remember, viewers, fresh clashes have been reported from Durgapur in West Bengal, the Kangsa area of Durgapur. Violent clashes captured on camera on your screen right now. CPIM and TMC. This is a clash between the TMC and the CPIM polling agents. CPIM Karyakartas brought bow and arrow and sticks with them. Also sword. A sword was witnessed there in their hands. They thrashed the TMC Karyakartas. You can see those visuals, disturbing visuals coming in from West Bengal. TMC Karyakartas were thrashed reportedly by CPIM Karyakartas along with independent candidate too, outside the counting center. So what we know is that there's a clash between CPIM and TMC polling agents. CPIM Karyakartas are reportedly thrashed TMC and independent candidates outside the counting center. Remember, it is not the polling day. This is a counting day. Violence was witnessed in the run-up to the polling day. Polling day 2 witnessed unprecedented violence, unprecedented scenes. And today it's the final day. It's the counting day. And we can see there clashes continue unabated in West Bengal. Durgapur yet again witnessing violence amidst polls in West Bengal. Today is the counting day and several regions are of course witnessing clashes. Even in Murshidabad, we got you the latest from ground zero. And now in Durgapur, you can see tensions coming in from Durgapur in West Bengal. There are clashes between CPIM and TMC polling agents. You can see the bow and arrow in the hands of those said CPIM Karyakartas, bow and arrow, sticks in their hands, even swords, and they have apparently beaten up the polling agents of TMC and independent candidates outside the counting center. That is the latest we're getting in from Durgapur, viewers. This is a violent election that we have witnessed. We have witnessed the murder of democracy in West Bengal. And Republic TV is on top of all the updates, getting you latest from ground zero. My colleague Harsha joining us on the broadcast for more. Harsha, fresh clashes being reported now from Durgapur. We can see CPIM and TMC Karyakartas being, clashing there with arrow sticks, bow and arrow sticks, and they are being thrashed outside the counting center.
Exactly, Rakshita. Now, fresh visuals from the Durgapur Kanksa counting center. It is being said, it is being told to us, and the fresh clashes of the violence visual, which is now between the two Karyakartas, CPIM and TMC Karyakartas, both could be seen outside the counting center, where the CPM Karyakartas clearly have bow and arrow in their hand, sticks in their hand, lathis in their hand, and they're thrashing, beating the TMC Karyakartas and the independent candidate from that very seat as well. So these are the visuals from the Durgapur area, the fresh clash and the violence since morning 8 o'clock, which has started in different areas. Several areas of West Bengal now could be seen till this time, from North 24 Parganas, South 24 Parganas, and several districts like Malda, Nadia, Murshidabad, several places where the violence has occurred since morning, and till now there has been no word from the side of government. There are various places where the counting was halted for almost 45 minutes till the 45 minutes to 1 hour till the time the clashes and the thrashing of the polling agents to each other didn't stop. In the Durgapur also fresh clashes. The visuals on our screen right now, the police had to intervene and police had to do a lathi charge. After that, the mob, the crowd of both the sides, TMC and CPM, left the spot, and after that the situation got under control, and right now the counting has resumed in that counting center. Back to you, Rakshita.
Absolutely, it's a very sad state of affairs, or maybe it's an understatement there, Harsha, because we continue to learn of such, even, despite the deployment of central forces, we can see police personnel there. We are showing our viewers to the left, there's been violence on the counting day, and on the right are the fresh clashes being reported. But, there has been no word from the Chief Minister yet. TMC, of course, continues to downplay, calling it, a minor incidence of violence. But this, is going on for a good 1.5 months now. And this is the counting day. We are seeing results. We are seeing the trends right now. TMC, of course, is dominating the trends there in several, if you see the latest figures. But, what's there to celebrate as far as the TMC, what really... how can we really take it as? How do we assume them to be as free and fair elections? There's no other way but, how to interpret these results that are pouring in right now.
Rakshita, clearly stating, because law and order seems to be out of control in the state of West Bengal, and the situation is very tense and scary as well. The residents who are living in the most sensitive areas like Malda, Nadia, Murshidabad, these places residents are very scared because they saw the violent clashes in the polling booth where they went to poll on Saturday, and till now they are seeing the violence around them, and it's not stopping. And it's very sad to state that since the time the Punjab election were announced in June, from that time to till now, more than 43 people have lost their lives in the violent clashes in the state of West Bengal. Now, everyone is questioning the the concern and the question remains the same, that where is the law and order? Where lies the democracy in the state of West Bengal? Because till now there has been no word from Abhishek Banerjee, no word from Kunal Ghosh, no word from Mamata Banerjee, the CM herself, who has been fighting the elections against left parties, stating that violence was in their time. And now the situation in West Bengal is much worse, which West Bengal has seen in the span of 34 years. So it's a very sad state, and therefore we have continuously seen that BJP leaders like Priyanka Tibrewal, Sakunta Majumdar, all are visiting Jagannath Sarkar as well. BJP MP Jagannath
Absolutely. Right. Stay on with us. Harsha, senior editor Shravan Sen is joining us on the broadcast from Bhangur. Shravan, yet another clash being reported now in Durgapur, which has of course witnessed violence before as well. Violence continues unabated. This visual has been caught on camera where TMC and CPIM workers are clashing with bow, arrow and sticks. Shravan, if you can hear me, I'll ask the question again. Violence continues, even on the polling day, as you are also reporting from outside a counting center. Now we are also getting visuals from Durgapur, where, reportedly CPIM, polling agents, workers are beating up TMC and independent candidates right outside, the polling center. The counting center, I beg your pardon, and they have bows and arrows and sticks in their hand. This is a complete mockery of democracy in West Bengal.
Well, Rakshita, before I take our viewers through what's really happening in other parts of West Bengal, where we are essentially broadcasting right now from is Bhangur, which happens to be a sensitive area, given the fact that we have seen violence breaking out when the nominations were actually taking place. As we broadcast right now, just a short while back, we've heard at least 3 explosions while we were reporting. In fact, what we have seen, an area domination was actually also done by the Rapid Action Force here, that what you can see behind me, and of course the West Bengal police along with the CAPF. But what's very important to point out here is as we were basically traveling on the other side, at least in the village area, there is very little deployment. So what is essentially happening is that as soon as the results are essentially not being declared, but they get a sense the leads that are basically coming in, immediately thereafter, in those very Gram Panchayat areas, we've heard explosions that have taken place. We've actually been there, but there is absolutely no deployment is what we could see. Right now, the concentration is essentially only at the counting center, where you would find this kind of a deployment that's taking place with also the central forces. We've seen the CRPF actually inside the counting center. So there is a tight security, at least in some of the areas which are considered